Hey guys, so I guess I'm starting to get back into my helis again. This is not mine. This is my buddy Kosei's heli. He's originally a plane pilot, RC pilot, and I started off with helis. So this is his. He asked me to set it back up for him. He just swapped over to the DX8, Spectrum DX8. So I was used to my DX 6i, and then I actually have a DX7 there that my buddy Kosei said I could use, but there's some sort of a backup error on it, so got to get that taken care of. Anyway, this is the DX8, latest and greatest. Beautiful, beautiful remote. So what I've done so far really was just to bind the receiver, to the radio. Then I had to set everything up. I had to balance the blades so they're fully balanced. I had to make sure the swash plate was turning in the right directions, going forward, backwards, left, right, and also the movement of the swash plate, make sure that was running right. Rewired the speed controller. It was on the side. Notice that it was actually ripped on one side from rubbing on the frame, so took it off, retaped it, and put it on the inside. Should be okay now. That's pretty much it. And I set up the tail, set up the gyro, set it up so that it's instead of being on the rate mode, it's going to be on head locking mode to keep the tail nice and steady. Picture the blades on the center. I centered the servos for the tail blade, centered the tail blade servo, and all three servos on the inside here. So make sure that when the stick is at mid throttle, that's everything is at a 90-degree for all the servos. Let's turn this around. So everything's nice and tight, everything's running right, everything's balanced. So hopefully today, later on, I charge the battery up. It's running a 2200 milliamp, 11.1 volt, and discharges 20C. So charge that up, it's ready to go. This is a like a clone from China. It's a 450 size heli, collective pitch. One thing with this receiver, sometimes the tail doesn't catch right away, so I gotta unplug it. So let me unplug 1 second. Let's try again. See, I didn't just unplug it. This time I shut everything off, including the radio, but that's not gonna work, so let's try this. So this time I just unplugged the battery. See, the gyro just kicked in, and you heard that belt. That's the tail. So now I also adjusted the travel of the of all servos. So okay, so moving the throttle up, nothing's happening because I do have the throttle cut engaged. It's always important, guys. Anybody doing this, first thing you set up is your throttle hold. And always, always, always when you're working on your Heli, unplug at least two, or unplug them all from your speed controller to your motor. Always, always, always unplug that. And as a measured safety, I always take the blades off just in case, because actually, see this mark on my wall right there? That is from me not taking my blades off on one of my Helis. So it was a 450, one of my early ones that I started on. And by accident, I did not have my throttle hold on, throttle cut. And by accident, I kicked this up, maybe half throttle. And this thing was actually on the floor and started spooling up to 50% throttle, and it started doing the chicken dance. Is what we call it, chicken dance, and it was hopping all over the place, hit the wall over there. Was not pretty. And actually, I think that time I also got cut on my legs twice. So when you're working on your Heli, always, always, always cut the unplug your speed controller, your motor, take your blades off, then set up your servos. That way, just in case it does spin up, nothing's really going to happen. If anything that spins, and even if you take the blades off and leave this plugged in, it'll still spin up, and at least it won't take off on you because you have no main blades on, right? Paddles are also centered. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully later we're going to do a little test, because yesterday I didn't have the gain on the gyro set high enough when I was testing it out, so I had to add a lot of right trim to it. So now that it's above 60%, it should be on hold instead of right mode. It should be on head hold when it's above 50%, I believe. So I'm going to see if I have any tail wag, and obviously, you know, once you get it up in the air, if you have a lot of tail wag, you just dial down the gyro until the wag goes away. Then it should hold steady while you're in a hover. So this is a clone 450, and I'll be taking the sucker up later on when my daughter gets here. That's pretty much all I've done. Just basically set it up. I had to reverse this servo, and I make sure that the travel is right. So right now, like right here, I'm at mid throttle, and everything's at 90 degrees. There's full throttle. When it's down at 0 on the stick, the pitch on my blade is -5. And actually, let me check. I haven't checked yet for when I'm at full throttle what the pitch is on my positive pitch is. So let me check. Okay, so I just checked it, and it looks like I'm right about 7.5 at full throttle. So I'm gonna have to adjust the travel of the swash plate so it goes higher. I usually like positive 10 by the time I'm at full throttle. I like right around 5 degrees at mid throttle, and when I hit 0, I should be at around -3 pitch. So I'm gonna have to readjust that. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much it so far. So I'm gonna post this video, and then I'll post the next one, and everything's all set up and ready to fly. Okay, so now I've got it at full throttle, and obviously you line up the top of this to your fly bar, and that's what gives you the degrees. So when you line it up just like that, you bring it down, it's even, and there's my pitch, positive 10 at full throttle. So bringing it down, okay, so now that I've got it at zero throttle, and you match up the fly bar to the top of the pitch gauge, and that shows me that I'm at -5. So that's good. -5 and +10 for pitch when I'm at full throttle. So now I'm gonna set it up, set my pitch for when I'm at mid throttle. I want that at +5. Let's see where we're at. +5 meaning it's perfectly straight, you're not gonna go anywhere. And that's off, so I'm gonna have to adjust my pitch. I'm gonna have to just change my pitch. So 1 second. Okay, so now I'm at mid throttle, 50%. 50%, nothing's gonna happen. I can still let go of the sticks. If you can see, I've got pitch. My pitch is at 5, +5. So right there, I'm still really not gonna go anywhere. It's above +5, 5 degrees to 10 degrees, which is when the heli starts taking off. So that should be good. So now what I'm going to do is adjust my pitch curve, because right now the pitch curve is set like that. So I'm just going to make this so that's 0 pitch, 75%. I'm going to make this smooth, because right there is 10, +10. This is 5, and this is set to 0 or -5. So this one, so this is 25% right here. I'm just going to straighten that up so that it doesn't jump up like crazy, like that. That's my pitch curve. There's other ways of doing it. I'm just kind of taking a shortcut to do this. I don't see, when I move my throttle up and down, I don't get any binding. See? That's all the way down, all the way up. You don't hear the servos chattering when it's all the way down and all the way up. So there's no binding of any of the servos. So we'll have to test this out later. See that I can adjust. You hear it chattering. So I gotta adjust the travel on that. Because by the time I move the stick one way, like this, I want that to stop chattering. Going this way is fine. It's just going the other way, so I just have to adjust that real quick. So that's pretty much up for the setup. It should be ready to go.